To summarize,
Ooh, this look good.
Meaningless stab.
Let's go. Y'all should be motivated. Y'all should be buzzing on your insides and all of that good stuff. All right, let's learn some new skills today. I'm gonna just type it in first, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's see what we got. Let me scroll all the way. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Ooh, now this is good. How to practice
An
effectively.
elevated dining experience?
Hey,
We have a playlist for that.
hey. Oh man, it's 10 a.m. All right, well look, we gonna listen to it. But if y'all get cut off, y'all just let me know.
Mastering any physical skill, be it performing a pirouette, playing an instrument, or throwing a baseball, takes practice. Practice is the repetition of an action with the goal of improvement, and it helps us perform with more ease, speed, and confidence. So what does practice do in our brains to make us better at things? Our brains have two kinds of neural tissue, gray matter and white matter. The gray matter processes information in the brain, directing signals and sensory stimuli to nerve cells, while white matter is mostly made up of fatty tissue and nerve fibers. In order for our bodies to move, information needs to travel from the brain's gray matter down the spinal cord through a chain of nerve fibers called axons to our muscles. So how does practice or repetition affect the inner workings of our brains? The axons that exist in the white matter are wrapped with a fatty substance called myelin, and it's this myelin covering, or sheath, that seems to change with practice.
I don't care what the weather may be. Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody who celebrates it, and just a nice, beautiful day. Happy transition over into next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting myself still a little bit set up and situated, but I'm gonna run that motivation y'all as usual. Sorry about that mic scratch. I'm gonna run the motivation as usual, like I always do for y'all. What's the computer charge on? All right, cool. And you know, just so happen it's a beautiful Wednesday, so we're gonna run the motivation for my women out there for today. All right, there we go. All right, let me get my headphones on. Whoa. What side should be on? Good to see y'all out there, like I said before. All right, let me run this motivation, get y'all set up. Switch this over. YouTube. Bing. Let's run it. All right, let's see what we got for today. Motivational speech by professional. Oh no, I want to hear something. I know who I want to hear it by. I'm spelling it to the best of my ability. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's see how much she got. We watched that one. All right, there you go.
My dear ones, let
I'm
me
gonna see if
tell
I
you
can get it to
something
y'all
my
out there on
grandmother
TikTok.
once whispered while rocking gently on the creaky porch swing of a southern afternoon. Child, not everything that rattles deserves your tongue. And I have carried that wisdom in the marrow of my bones ever since. You see, we live in a world that rewards noise, people shouting over each other, flashing their joys and flaunting their wounds, posting every breath, every thought, every ache. as if silence were a curse and privacy a prison. But let me speak this truth. Silence
Hold on,
is
y'all.
not
They
weakness.
on TikTok. I got y'all.
Silence is strength
There you
folded
go.
in dignity. There is a rhythm to silence that only the wise can hear. It hums deep in the belly of the earth and rests gently on the shoulders of the patient. It is not empty. Oh no, my dear, it is full of understanding, full of listening, full of truth waiting to be born. You see, in this world, folks will tell you to speak up before you're ready. They will prod you to shout your pain, parade your process, and perform your piece. But let me whisper to you what the elders knew without ever having to say it out loud, that sometimes the most courageous thing you can do
Okay, hold on.
is be still.
Gotcha.
To hold
Try
your
it like
words
this.
like pearls,
Give me a second.
too precious to cast
What
before
about now?
swine. To keep your mouth closed, not because you
What
have
about now,
nothing to
Stacey?
say, but because you know that every word has a price, and wisdom teaches you how to spend wisely. Child, don't you mistake silence for surrender. Don't let the world convince you that quietness is cowardice. Oh no, sugar.
Trying to get the
Silence
mic
is
in there
strength
for you.
wrapped in velvet. It is restraint refined by fire. It is the shield that guards your peace and the gatekeeper of your energy. You don't always need to
Tell me
clap
what
back.
about now, Stacey?
You don't always need to correct. You don't have to post a response or explain your truth to people committed to misunderstanding you. What's yours will speak for itself in
Hey.
time. I've learned that silence
Yeah, I'm on.
is often misunderstood
I'm on
by
Twitch.
the noisy. They don't trust what
Can
they
you hear me
can't
talking in the
interrupt.
mic when I talk in the
They
mic
don't
like this?
respect what doesn't demand attention. But you, my darling, you were never made to beg for understanding. You were born with thunder
Alright, hold
in your
on.
chest
So
and
I'm trying to play what
stars
I'm
in your
listening to
soul.
in the headphones.
You don't
for you.
need to prove your storm by breaking someone else's peace. Let me tell you, it takes power to hold your tongue when your pride wants to speak. It takes discipline to bow out of the argument that your ego wants to win. But the mature woman, the wise man, the soul that's been through something and come out the other side, they
Let me turn it
understand
up.
that every battle is not worth their breath. They've learned to save their voice for praise, not pettiness. I've walked through fire, and I've come out smoke-scented but still shining. And along the way, I've come to realize that silence is a language.
There you go.
It says, I see what's happening, but I choose peace. It says, I could say more, but my spirit needs rest. It says, God will handle what my words cannot. There's power in the pause. There's healing in the hush. There's clarity in the quiet. You don't have to answer every accusation. You don't have to match energy with those who are running on fumes. Let them talk. Let them throw their stones. Let them wrestle with shadows. You, beloved, were not built for petty wars. You were built for purpose. Silence gives
It's
you room to
motivation for my
listen,
women out there.
not just to others, but to your own soul. When you quiet the noise of the outside world, you start to hear the music of your inner knowing. You hear your breath. You hear your heartbeat. You hear God whispering, be still and know that I am. And when you come into that stillness, you become unshakable, not because you're untouched by pain, but because you've learned to sit with it in sacred silence. Not because you have all the answers, but because you've made peace with the questions. The woman who holds her tongue is not weak. She is powerful beyond measure, because she knows when to speak and when to let silence carry her truth. She knows that her worth isn't measured by her volume, but by her presence. She knows that her silence can move mountains, shake hearts, and part seas. So do not be afraid to step back. Do not be afraid
It's
to
for
keep
my
your
women. This
peace
motivation is for my
when
women out
others
there.
lose theirs. You don't need to rush to defend yourself. Your growth is your your peace is your power. Your silence is your sanctuary. Let your actions whisper where your words used to shout. Let your presence speak when your tongue takes rest. Let your silence remind the world that you are whole without their validation. And when the time comes to speak, because, oh yes, the time will come, you will find that your words carry more weight because they were born not out of impulse, but out of insight. They were shaped not by noise, but by wisdom. So walk tall in your silence. Hold your head high when others clamor for attention. There is a divine hush that surrounds those who are grounded, and if you listen close enough, you'll hear it humming around you even now. It's saying, you are enough. You
Yes,
are
ma'am.
wise, you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
strong, and you don't have to shout to prove it. Let the noisy ones chatter,
Yes,
let the
ma'am.
restless ones run in circles. You, my dear, will rise in silence, and the world will watch in awe. There comes a moment if
Ooh. All right, hold on. To my ladies out there. Ooh. Hold on. I got y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful and blessed Merry Christmas Eve. And I hope that y'all have a great day and stay beautiful. All right, so today, let me change scenes for y'all out there on Twitch. So today we flowing. We just flow. We finding our way, of course, finding our way Wednesday. So that was a great start to it, I can't lie. And we just gonna flow through this thing, all right? Now, it's been, I don't know how many days. What day of the year is this? Let's look it up real quick. Hold up. If somebody know off the top of their head, type it in the chat. What day of the year is it? 24. No. How many? Like, if there's 350, if there's 365 days in a year, what day of the year is this?
364.
It's a week till the last day of the year. This should be like easy equation. Out of 365, there it is.
365
Today is the 358th day, with only 7 days remaining. This is the 358th day of the year, y'all. Do you remember what you was doing on the 12th day of the year? Do you remember what you was doing on the 112th day of the year? Shout out to 112. Do you remember what you were doing on the 357th day of the year? I do. But so we just gonna keep on flowing forward from there, all right? That was pretty fun, I think. Because now I got a better way that I'm going to track all of the days of the year. I'm going to be like, all right, it's the 67th day. On the 127th day, we're going to be, that's fire right there. I like that. I've never looked at the days of the year like that. I was like, it's Wednesday. What day we? It's the 12th. It's August. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at it like that, it's the 252nd day of the year. We coming up on the 300, y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, first of all, we got to start with our quotes or something like that, just to give us a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of, If you don't know what that means, that's like a little move that you do when you trying to wiggle around or move around something that's in your way. What? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Wisdom for us all. Let's see what they got. Let's get some shorts first.
There once was a rich man and his driver.
Okay.
The rich man had it all: obscene amounts of money, celebrity status, a global empire, and all the shiny things his heart desired. He wasn't a bad person. Sure, he promoted all the right causes at all the right times, as long as the cameras were rolling. But he lived mostly for himself, for success, for his own glory, and completely indifferent to the person standing right next to him. unless they provided some sort of use, of course. His driver was a poor man, never really had much of anything, struggling to support his family, living in a broken-down old house. Pleasant, dignified, but basically four walls and a roof. He was a good man. You never heard a negative word from his mouth about anyone or anything, and you could count on him for everything. He lived his life totally for others, never once counting the cost to himself. First, for his beloved wife, whom he held above all the treasures of all the world. Then his beloved children. Then anyone else who needed a hand, an extra donut, a little cheer, or just to feel like a human being again. One wintry day while driving home, they hit a patch of ice, slid off a bridge, and that was the end. When they came to, they found themselves in the back of an old cab, driving down the most beautiful road they've ever seen. "Where are we?" the driver asked. "We're in what you would call heaven," the cabbie answered. "I'm taking you to your new homes." When they pulled into the first drive, the first thing they noticed were the crowds of people. Oceans of them, cheering, celebrating, like one of those parades you see when a war ends.
That's right. Some people.
Rising up at the end of the drive was the biggest, most beautiful, well, that's just it. We don't have the words to describe it. Mansion or castle or palace, don't even come close. "Welcome home," the cabbie said to the driver, and the crowds erupted. The rich man's eyes widened. If this is the driver's home, he thought, I can't wait to see mine. As they drove a little further, outside of what seemed to be the main area, they pulled down a side road and up to a little house. Pleasant, dignified, but basically four walls and a roof. "Welcome home," the cabbie said to the man. No, this is a mistake," the man complained. "You switched the houses." "There's no mistake," the cabbie answered. "We did the best we could with the materials you sent us." There once was a rich man and his driver.
Yo, that was nice. I enjoyed that. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed that right there. Because at the end of it all, which would you rather? Come on, Dan. Yeah, 'tis the season, y'all. I love it. My face. Good to see you, son. Lay down, enjoy the show. That's more mess. All right, now, like I said, we just flowing anyway. I'm just going for what it's worth. All right, so that's just a little bit of wisdom. Let's get some more. That was actually supposed to be a short, but it was long. Nah, hold up. Y'all want to take 7 minutes or 5? All right, let's take 5. Let's go.
There are 3 books in the Bible that have come to be called the wisdom literature: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job.
And all these books are addressing the same set of questions. What kind of world are we living in? And what does it look like to live well in this world?
So, how to be good at life.
Yeah. So each of these books tackles these questions from a unique perspective, and it's important to understand all of them to get a fully biblical perspective on the good life. So as a thought experiment, you could actually imagine each of these books as a person. So Proverbs would be like this brilliant young teacher, and Ecclesiastes the sharp middle-aged critic, and Job would be this weathered old man who's seen a lot in his day.
We're going to start by meeting the book of Proverbs, the brilliant young teacher. She's not just smart, she's smart about everything: work, relationships, sex, spirituality. She has incredible insights,
things you wouldn't see on your own.
Yeah, she would be the perfect friend to have around when you need really specific advice.
So what makes her so smart?
Well, Proverbs can see things that most people don't see. She believes that there's an invisible creative force in the universe that can guide people in how they should live. And you can't see it, just like you can't see gravity, but it affects everything that we do.
So what's this force?
Well, in Hebrew, it's called chokhmah, and it usually gets translated into English as wisdom. It's an attribute of God that God used to create the world. And chokhmah has been woven into the fabric of things and how they work. So wherever people are making
Then put on
good
your
or
Crocs
just or
and go out there.
wise decisions, they're tapping into
Say-
chokhmah.
And whenever
Yeah,
someone's
those.
making a bad decision, they're working against Hokmah.
Right, or as it says in Proverbs chapter 1, the waywardness of
find yours
fools
with mine.
will destroy them. But the one who listens to wisdom lives in security.
So it's like a moral law of the universe.
Yeah, it's a cause-effect pattern, and no one can escape it. And Proverbs personifies all of this as a woman.
Yeah, Lady Wisdom.
Right, and she roams around the earth, calling out, making herself available to anyone who's willing to listen to her and to learn. Which leads to the second thing Proverbs believes, that anyone can access and interact with wisdom and use it to make a beautiful life for yourself or for others.
You can create with it like a designer.
Yes, in fact, chokhmah in Hebrew isn't simply intellectual knowledge. The word is also used to describe a skilled artisan who excels at their craft, like woodworking or stonemasonry. So you show you possess chokhmah when you put it to work and develop the skill of making a good life.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's do this. Let's go find some wisdom.
But before you do, Proverbs has one more really important thing to consider. Chokhmah isn't some impersonal force. It's an attribute of God himself. And so in Hebrew thought, your journey to becoming wise has to begin with what Proverbs calls the fear of the Lord. It's this healthy respect for God's definition of good and evil. And true wisdom means learning those boundary lines and not crossing them.
Now, all those ideas you just unpacked are in chapters 1 through 9 in Proverbs. But when I think of the book of Proverbs, I think of the collection of sayings, the Proverbs themselves. Tell me about those.
Yeah, those are what you find in chapters 10 on to the end of the book. It's a collection of hundreds and hundreds of proverbs about any and all aspects of life. And chokhmah gets applied to them, resulting in this wise guidance to help you find a path towards success, and no matter what you do.
If I design my life with these sayings, life is going to be good.
Yeah, or as Proverbs puts it, it'll give health to your bones, prosperity, a long,
Hey,
rich
appreciate the
life.
likes
Which
out
is a
there
really
on-
big claim.
on TikTok.
But you can see how it's often the case. Wise people, they tend to do better. Things usually work out well for them in life. And so that is the promise and the wisdom of the book of Proverbs.
The book of Proverbs is really beautiful, but if we take a step back, some people would argue it's a little too simplistic, because sometimes horrible things happen to really wise people, and sometimes foolish people get rewarded. It doesn't always work the way we think it should work.
That's right. Which is why we need to go and listen to our next wise friend, Ecclesiastes the critic, because he's wrestled with that very problem, and he's going to push us further in our journey to find the good life. Hey you guys, thank you for watching the Bible Project. You can find a lot more videos like this one on our YouTube channel.
Hey,
We
that
believe
was
the
fun.
Bible is a unified story. It all leads to Jesus and has
Hold on,
profound
wait.
wisdom for the modern world.
That was it. Hey, I like those because they quick and they ain't necessarily. No matter, I know everybody got their own way of doing things, and what I mean is everybody believe in something in the way that they believe in it. But some things are universal, and that's your life. Your life is universal. If you see another person looking at you, they got a life too. That's the universal thing right there. All right, let's get some more of this. I'm gonna get one more of this. Hold on. Is this what if this is what I think it is, we're gonna see.
When you're
what's
a
up.
kid,
That's my man's.
Rumi once whispered across time, "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep." What are these secrets? And why must they be heard in silence before the world awakens? Because there are parts of you that can only be heard when the world stops speaking. There is a presence that lives beneath your name, your roles, your habits. A being that waits patiently, endlessly for you to turn within. Not the you that scrolls and performs, but the you that dreams, aches, remembers. The one who was here before your first memory and will remain after your final breath. That self is not found in the crowd. It is born in solitude. In the next few minutes, we will walk with Rumi into the sacred terrain of the soul, into the silence where the truth first begins to breathe. We will speak of the power of being alone, not as an escape, but as a return. We will explore what it means to face the void, to know yourself, and to dissolve the illusion that you were ever disconnected from love. This is the spiritual path Rumi walked. This is the journey inward. We fear being alone, not because we dislike silence, but because in silence the masks fall. In the presence of others, we learn how to shape ourselves. We learn what to say to please, how to move to belong, how to smile to be accepted. But in solitude, there is no audience. There is no script. There is only the echo of your own breathing, the slow rhythm of your thoughts unfolding, the weight of presence pressing inward. And it is there, in that still chamber, that the journey truly begins. Rumi knew this. He did not romanticize loneliness, but he honored solitude as sacred space, a retreat not from life, but into it. He once wrote, "A little while alone in your room will prove more valuable than anything else that could ever be given you." These words are not poetry, they are prophecy, because the soul does not awaken in crowd, it awakens in isolation, when the world finally stops speaking and your essence begins to whisper. In solitude, you begin to notice things you never had the time or courage to see. You notice the quiet ache beneath your smile, the thoughts that circle endlessly like birds in a cage, the parts of you that never found language. There is no one to impress here, no one to lie to, no one to perform for. It is in this aloneness that the true self begins to stir, not the self built on reactions or shaped by memory, but the unchanging presence beneath it all. It is uncomfortable at first, the silence can feel deafening, the stillness unbearable, because we are not used to witnessing ourselves without distraction. We are used to running from pain, from truth, from the vast unknown of our own hearts. But if you stay, if you remain seated in the fire, something starts to soften. The racing thoughts settle, the armor begins to loosen. The stories you've told yourself about who you are, what you lack, what others did to you, they begin to dissolve. What's left is raw, real, and utterly human. And in that rawness, you are no longer fragmented, you are whole. The purpose of solitude is not to isolate you from life, but to reconnect you with it. Because how can you truly meet another if you have never met yourself? How can you love someone honestly if you have not stood in the mirror and faced the parts of yourself you've long disowned? In solitude, you begin to integrate. You begin to forgive. You begin to remember that you are not your wounds, not your past, not your failures. You are the one who sees them all. You are the witness. The eternal awareness that was here before the pain and will be here after the healing. This awareness is subtle. It does not announce itself. It waits for your surrender. And when you finally stop fighting the moment, when you no longer resist your own company, it rises, quiet, expansive, like a gentle sunrise over an ancient sea. There is a...
So, I'm gonna bookmark this one. This one hit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a excuse me. I got another one. That's crazy. I got another one that's just like that, and it's about 3 hours long that we listen to on Healthy Mental Thursday. That's like the same exact way. Like, I really enjoy listening to it because it gives you more insight. Let me switch over the screen real quick. It gives you more insight into what's at stake when you remove yourself from solitude, from basically when you take yourself from being with yourself solely, whether it be in one place, in a room, whether it be just waking up and using the bathroom. Once you are in the presence of others, then there's a different mixture in the air. It's something more there than just you. Hold on one second. I just realized I didn't have my my other chat. Hey Eli, go in that box and grab that mask, because we're gonna be around a lot more people. Hey, thank you for this. I needed to hear this today. You know what, Zanita67, I'm sorry. I just pulled up the chat. I just realized that I didn't have my all my chats pulled up out there. So I apologize if I missed you beforehand. And also, if it's all choppy out there, I'm sorry about that too. I didn't realize that either. Well, we're going to keep this thing pushing and keep it moving. I'm glad you at least was able to hear. And especially the motivation today. The motivation today was, you know what I'm saying? And I also will be opening up again the chat again at about 9:40, 9:41, for anybody who want to come on. I can send the link out to my people out there on Twitch too as well, but I will save that part for another day. This one is going to just be exclusively to TikTok like I did yesterday, but Twitch, I got you. Don't worry about it, Zanita67 and all my other viewers out there on Twitch. So this one right here was good. Now we got our wisdom. If you want to go, like I said before in other shows, if you want to go and watch any of these things back on your own time, listen to them, get your own little bit of motivation from them, make sure you go and you check out the DGTA Decorated Garage Table Animations, DGTA_TV YouTube channel, which we broadcasting at right now. You can go there and you can find all of these videos under the playlist titled Knowledge of Expansion Pack. We also got recipes, I think recipes of Expansion Pack, and some other playlists there that you can check out for yourself, and all of the old episodes. You can see me saving it here now, and all of the old episodes of Expansion Pack, which we are on episode number 245 right now. Yeah, so this one is a good video. I would sit and just listen to this for an hour while I'm like playing the game or something like that. Let's keep it going. I just seen one down here that I want to hear just for a couple seconds before I open up the chat.
Hi, I'm Zach Cass, the former head of go-to-market at OpenAI, and welcome to my course on AI.
Your brain has 2 ages. There's the number on your birthday cake. And then there's the age your neurons actually function at. A 5-year-old can have the brain of a 4-7-year-old. A 4-0-year-old can have the brain of a 4-8-year-old. Recent research from Stanford, Harvard, and Yale reveals that specific daily habits physically restructure your brain's biological age. And the most powerful one takes less than 7 minutes. Here are the 4 habits that neuroscience confirms can rewind your brain's clock. I won't tell you to sleep or meditate. You know the basics. Today, we're looking at the non-obvious, counterintuitive habits that neuroscientists are just beginning to understand. The ones nobody talks about because they sound too strange to be true. Habit 1. Proprioceptive training. Stand on one leg right now. Try it. If you can't hold it for 30 seconds without wobbling, your brain is aging faster than it should be. Balance isn't about your muscles. It's about your cerebellum, the region of your brain that coordinates movement and spatial awareness. Proprioceptive decline is the #1 predictor of cognitive decline. Stronger than memory tests. Stronger than vocabulary assessments. University of Pittsburgh tracked adults over 60 for 8 years. Failure to hold this position predicted triple the rate of cognitive decline. Here's the mechanism. Your cerebellum contains more neurons than the rest of your brain combined. When it shrinks, everything built on top destabilizes. Your prefrontal cortex, where your intelligence lives, depends on this foundation. Balance training forces neurogenesis.
Right.
New neurons, new connections. University of Illinois scans show 12 weeks of practice increased cerebellar volume by 4%. That translates to a brain age 4.2 years younger. The protocol is simple. Daily balance challenges. Single leg stands. 30 seconds each leg. When that becomes easy, close your eyes. When that becomes easy, stand on an unstable surface like a pillow. Walk heel to toe in a straight line, like you're on a tightrope.
Y'all can't see it
Your
on TikTok,
brain
but
hates this. That's exactly why it works. Within 4 weeks, you'll notice the difference. Not just in balance, in mental clarity. Your brain's foundation is rebuilding itself. Habit 2.
now we're gonna stop right there with habit 1. I'm gonna open this up real quick and I'm just saying it out. See if anybody want to speak. But the question is, and what we will be talking about, basically. Hold on, let me get this back. We've looked at solitude, and we also looked at these little micro habits that you can do just to kind of build yourself back. Y'all back there. Now, today's episode was just about, let me change y'all back to big screen. Just flowing. We actually flowing. And what I wanted to, my premise was to help, what I wanted to help with is just getting yourself to a state where you feel comfortable to just go. You know, go with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to go with the nonsense, because we know you deal with the nonsense quite often. But you do want to go with the things that kind of feel natural. And we tend to, I know sometimes, just be like, maybe I should have did this differently or do that differently. And I think it's one of the reasons we do that is because we have access to like a mental playback of everything. Just like the one part of the show we was watching with the guy riding into, he was the driver for the rich dude, and the rich dude was living his life, and they reversed houses. But we kind of we going through, but we not going through, and we have access to our past in a way that nobody else has access to it. You don't see, to be honest with you, you don't see nobody in your mind right now that can access what you thinking and what you doing. Like, they ain't coming up, yeah, I know you thought that. I saw it. You see what I'm saying? You can kind of show it through your mannerisms, like maybe you make a face, you make a gesture, but it's not really like somebody can be in there with you. You see what I'm saying? So that part of it is personal, and you got access to what you did, what you didn't do. But in order to feel more comfortable, go with it and look back on it. You may be right at the very edge of something that you really wanted to do and was like, skirt, I'm out of here. But keep going just a little bit more. I know my son, he may draw a picture, or let's just say anybody you know may draw a picture, but my son may draw a picture and be like, I don't know. At about 5 to 7 minutes in, and let's say this picture probably take from YouTube, the whole video may be like 14 minutes, 12 minutes, right? So at 7 minutes in, he got about 4 minutes left. Be like, I don't know. You got to see it through, my boy. You got to see it through, at least because you started. You see what I'm saying? If you don't keep on going, then you're not gonna see what it looks like at the end. And if you just keep on flowing with what you got, I know you're gonna turn out what you want, at least a portion of it, and then you can always go back and restructure it later. But what I was gonna say is, I got moments myself personally that I know I was on the beat. Don't know what I'm gonna say next, but it came out like beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I spit a flow, I buzz a flow now. But anyway, you got to flow with it. So with that right there, I want to say again, happy holidays to y'all. And I want to prove my point right now. I'm going to prove my point. Y'all going to see me prove this point. This is beautiful.
Stay committed today.
Yep, and it
See
pull
your
up right on
persistence
point.
bloom tomorrow.
Look, check it out.
Welcome to
Check it out. Y'all may not know what's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I get this on full screen. Yeah. Let's watch this one time. And if you ain't juiced up after this, then I don't know. I had the invites open. I think I'm gonna close the invites in a couple seconds. If you do decide to join, what I'm gonna do is I'll unmute you as soon as you get in here after this. Let me just find the video I'm looking for. I don't think it was a short. I think it was just a post. Oh, there it is. There we go. Let me run this for y'all.
Stay committed today. See your persistence bloom tomorrow. Welcome to DGTA TV.
Hey, I took it. I mean the time off. I'm booked now. So book me. No, ain't no time for double looks or double takes. Just go straight to your goal. If you can get with me, you relate. What I'm saying cannot be twisted. It stays straight. I gotta get it every day. I got my work suit on and I ain't out here to play. I'm out here to say that consistency keeps me getting my goals consistently. You know how I do it. I'm so into me. I move like I can't be nobody else. I know that that's a fact. So might be myself. I gotta get right back to what is the health, what is for me and for my health. Gotta go be my damn self. Give it to me, champion belt. But if I don't earn it, I can't get nothing. So hard work, yes, I love it. Give it to me double time, cause I'm running to get mine. Always on time, always up here in my mind, living just fine, cause I don't wait and don't wait and don't wait. I just say that I'm gonna be great. I go get it and you can't take it away. So this is DGTA. I'm gonna go ahead and get off y'all nerves for the day and for the moment and for the time being. Hopefully they don't mute this. And they did. This is DGTA TV. Yeah. So, like I said, keep flowing. Keep flowing. That was I gotta find that episode so I can tag it and put it in the description. That was at the end of one of these shows, one of these expansion pack episodes. And I forget what we was doing. We was doing something. And I was like, yeah, I'ma just rap. Forget it. Ain't no time for double looks or double takes. Just go straight to your goal. If you can get with me, you relate. You see what I'm saying? You just got to keep flowing, man. You got to keep going, keep flowing with what you want to do and what you're going to do. Me personally, when you finding your way through life, this is my message for this episode. Let me switch screens for y'all. When you finding your way through life, no one told you or no one showed you what it would be like in the end. What I mean is, you can flip a book to the end and read. You can take a movie and fast forward to the end and watch. Your life, you cannot. And so, there's a great amount of flow to your life that you can't stop, you won't stop, can't stop. You see what I'm saying? I suggest you get used to it. Learn how to surf. Because you gotta flow. Now, I feel like doing this. And I will. I will. Let's see what's up. Maybe it'll be alright. I don't know how this will come out. I never do. But
Imagine being able to build an app.
I'm gonna say it like I said it the last time. Because we about to go off anyway. I just hope they don't mute this. Hey, there's no way to change things. You just gotta keep going, playing the game, man. It's gonna turn out a different way. Some things you say they not gonna like. Get right, just get right, and just be the one you wanna be that's out of sight. You could take off in flight or come down if you get it just right, cause your peak ain't reached till you leave off the earth. And if you wanna get it, get in there and work. And if you feel like you are what you're worth, be valued. I'm high valued. Maybe sometime I don't feel like it, but I feel like I'm excited when I get in here and I start writing, looking at my life and it's really getting life in. You gotta grow up. Work now, show up for yourself at least. Be the BST. I missed the letter up in the middle. That feels like I'm stuck or big a little. In any situation I can't go up or down. Maybe left, squeeze out of it a little more now. Maybe it'll fit, maybe I will get with it. Maybe I won't, or maybe I will. But either way I know, it's right in my will. It's right in my choices, it's right in my decisions. And if you don't know what I'm out here living, it's my life that I like. So just keep flowing, you see what I'm saying? I ain't writing none of that down. Listen to that trumpet ride. Hey. You see what I'm saying? It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Whether that was whack or not, who cares? The message is there. The energy is there for you to perceive. You just gotta be able to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Who told you what you was gonna say next? It's up here. Nobody said, all right, come over here. This is good. At 3:30. At 3:30, you have to say this. It's gonna go like this. He's gonna say that, and I want you to rehearse it. You gotta rehearse it, Billy. Nobody did that in life for you. Nobody gave you the answer to the question. Nobody put the words the way that you were going to say them at the moment. Now, I'm streaming right now, so we all have access to our phones and our cameras and stuff and can play stuff back. And like I already said, you can rewind it back in your mind however you want, however many times too. But that doesn't mean that someone told you it was going to be like that. So flow with it. You feel what I'm saying? And pray for your well-being all the time. And I love y'all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Have a Christmas time. Yeah, we ain't going nowhere just yet. All right. Y'all join us tomorrow.
If you don't
Christmas
understand
Day.
the rules of power, you are
We're going to do
certainly
an
limited
episode on
to some-
Christmas Day, too. Yes, we will. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Healthy Mental Thursday. Tomorrow, y'all enjoy your holidays. Hey, look, go with your family, chill. Do what you're going to do. Have fun. You know, I will do the same. We up out of here for the day. Hey, look. Now, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect moment. Don't you feel like you really, really want it? What you wishing for? All them gifts under the tree. You wanna be with your whole family. This is the perfect time. The season getting cold. Just get in line for the soup kitchen if you ain't got nowhere to be living. Cause everybody's in the spirit. I know I feel it, I'm near it, and I got it, go get it. So I'ma spread the cheer, and I'ma say this to your ear. This is DGTA TV. Huh? See y'all tomorrow. Peace. All right, let's go. All right. Did y'all get that last one? He's an R&B superstar who will show you to your seat. Usher. Oh, we've got a winner out there, folks. I think that would be my guess. Let's go. Let's flip to number 13. Occupational name, Usher. Usher is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Hold on, we need another sound in here. Let's play this. Let's have some fun on today's show. YouTube. You know what music we need? I'm gonna show y'all what music we need. Y'all, you gonna love this. You gonna love this. There we go. You gonna love this one. It's not like a ding ding ding, but this is what we need. When you get one right. This ain't it. There you go. That's the part I'm looking for. Let me get it set up. All right, I got it queued up. You ready? Here go your next one. We're gonna go to number 6. He ground up politicians and celebrities as a talk show host and weekend update anchor, and then ground grain into flour. He ground up politicians and celebrities as a talk show host and weekend update anchor, and then ground grain into flour. Number 6. Number 6. He ground up politicians and celebrities as a talk show host and weekend update anchor, and then ground grain into flour. Number 6. A few more seconds, folks. I'm gonna read that again. He ground up politicians and celebrities as a talk show host and weekend update anchor, and then ground grain into flour. A grinder. Okay, we have an answer out there for us today. Grinder. Grinder is the answer. I didn't know this one either. Let's check it out. Number 6. And we ain't gonna wait that long for the answer. I just wanted to make sure you got a chance to type something in the chat for yourself. Dennis Miller, a person who grinds grain in a mill, is a miller. Dennis Miller. Remember, this is, I'm gonna read the instructions. Can you guess, we're gonna do 2 more. Can you guess the names of these famous people if we give you a clue about their lives and the lives they could lead if they took a job or hobby that correlates to their last name? All right, here we go. We're gonna do this again. All right, so I'm not reading them, I'm just picking a number. All right, here we go. Number 8. He was an NFL running back, and now he can take a little off the top and give you a shave. Let us go. I'm gonna give you half the time for this one. He was a star NFL running back, and now he can take a little off the top and give you a shave. Cold cash, the flu virus. Cold cash, the flu virus can live on a dollar bill for as long as 2 weeks. Interesting fact there, folks. Alrighty, your time is up. We have don't know him. Oh yeah, I ain't know Dennis Miller anyway, but I guess we could have, I don't know. But Tiki Barber, that sounds like it is the answer, folks. Tiki Barber. The question was, he was an NFL star, running back, and now he can take a little off the top and give you a shave. Tiki Barber, number 8. And we have a correct answer here, folks. Tiki Barber is the answer. That is it for the occupational name quiz today, and our top prizes go to Zanita67. She wins today. Gratitude from the host. Join us here today or next week on occupational name quiz, folks. That was fun. Let's flip through this book some more. That's only about